Hey you guys, welcome back to Mayfield Ranch. We're gonna do some work out here in the garden today, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick tour. We've got some things to harvest, so let me show you what's going on. So the first thing you notice here is our squash is just growing like crazy. It's growing out onto the ground, it's growing up and over that trellis. So it's doing really well in just a few weeks. The leaves are huge, if you can see, like compared to my hand, that's the size of the leaf. So this is really just taking over this bed. I actually didn't plant much at all in this garden bed. I did not expect the squash to grow over here. I wanted it up on the trellis. We haven't kept up with it. I probably could have trained it better, but I did plant several squash right along that line right there. So probably just planted quite a bit. Hopefully we get a great harvest. So here we've got our Armenian cucumber. So it's not growing up the trellis much yet. So Armenian cucumber, some squash, tomatoes, got some tomatoes that we planted. Those are getting going. Then our bell peppers. So I interplanted some lettuce. So right here what you see is some lettuce. There's Bermuda grass growing all over. We haven't kept up with that. But we planted our peppers and I thought, oh, I'll try to plant some lettuce, some radishes. Let me show you how that's going. So my radishes right here are kind of outgrowing my peppers. If you can see, the peppers are in there. So for me, this is probably a fail. So let's get in here and pull one of these guys out, see what it looks like. Oh, pretty good size. Okay, so I take it back. Maybe not a fail. Let's get these harvested and I'll show you what everything looks like. Okay, so here in the rest of the garden, I did plant a couple zucchini plants. I generally wouldn't plant these in our raised beds, but I didn't really need to put anything else here. And we have so much Bermuda grass that no matter what I put here, it's just tough. So I think the zucchini can handle the Bermuda grass. Over here, we've got some straight 8 cucumbers. We'll see if we can get those to climb up this trellis here. So next we have our beans on this side. They're still looking kind of small. It has been cool. Maybe once it warms up, they'll take off. Let me show you what else I have in this bed. I put some spinach in here. Nothing's really happening there. It's sprouting, but it's got to compete with these weeds we're not keeping up with. And then this plant right here, right back there, Gary's friend gave him this plant. It's supposed to, if you eat the leaves, it's supposed to reduce your blood sugar. So he eats like 1 or 2 of those leaves a day. So we're trying to just grow that in here. Now the trellis, we should have beans that'll grow up at here. We've got this little trellis. On this side, this is that koozie. So we planted this together. It was really small. So I will say this was slow to germinate and it's growing pretty slowly out here in the garden compared to anything else. So I planted this at the same time I planted that squash and everything like that over there. Just ignore Gary, he's helping with the weed control. That's a weed control fella right there. So next to the koozie, I've got some peach reapers. So those are those peppers we planted together. There's 3 of them, they're looking pretty good. Then we've got Buena Mulata. And as you can see, we've already got some peppers on there that I can pick. Next is our orange habanero. Those are looking still pretty small. They were little when we planted them, so that's fine. Then we've got our banana peppers that are doing okay. We've got a banana pepper ready to harvest there. Next over here, we've got some jalapenos. So some of these are early jalapenos. So we got those going. And it looks like right here, let me show you guys. There's a little baby getting going. So not a bunch on here to harvest, but some flowers. Lemon cucumber there in the back, and then an Armenian cucumber. So we'll just get that tied up along this little short trellis. I still didn't plant anything right here, so I do have a little bit of space I can put something in. And then right here, we've got our zucchini rapicante. So kind of growing, maybe a little slow there too, but it does look like, you can see little flower there. So hopefully we'll get some fruit on that pretty soon. I'm excited to see what that grows like. So let me show you what's going on here. So I got some carrots that I'm letting grow for the seed. I want to just grab that seed once it dries out. And then I've got a little cherry tomato there. It's a sun sugar, I think. So we like that one. My cilantro is completely bolted. I'll probably cut that back just to give a little bit more space for my tomato to get some sun. Not a whole lot else going on over here. I do have some spinach, which is now bolting. So we didn't really get much spinach. Onions, I'm gonna get some seed. They didn't grow great, but I think that was my fault. So I wanna try to get the seed off of that. And then over here, I could show you that one. Let me take you in closer. So here I've got some kale. So hopefully that will grow okay. Another little tomato. I think that's also sun sugar. Okay, so this plant here, I actually don't remember if this is a beet or a turnip. For you experts, maybe you can let me know if you can tell what this is. Anyways, I'm saving seed for it because I didn't harvest it soon enough last year. It didn't die over winter. So it looks like maybe I'll be able to get some seed. This is a bit of an experiment, so we'll see. So we've got another volunteer tomato that sprouted here, pretty much in the same spot it did last year. I guess maybe we'll let that grow. And then right over here, we've got some more volunteer carrots. Again, I'm gonna see if I can get some seed off of these guys. I know what happened. I pulled carrots a year or so ago, and as I walked kind of this pathway right here out to the animals, I scattered seed everywhere on accident, and now we have driveway carrots every year. Okay guys, let me show you the animal garden also, and you can see how that's growing. We got a bunch of beans, things like that out here, some sugar pie pumpkins, and I'll give you an update on the tomatoes. You can see how that's going. Did we get weeds? We will see. So these are our black coat runner beans, and if you guys were hanging out with me when we planted all these, I told you that they had really gorgeous red flowers, and as you can see, they absolutely do. These things are covered in flowers. Super pretty, very distinctive. So I was hoping that this would end up looking really pretty on the front of this trellis, and it absolutely does. So in front of that, we've got some yellow wax beans. We're growing a little puppy cat here. He wanted to hang out with us. I've got some cilantro. Keeks, move it, pups. I've got some cilantro, but it's bolting. And then I have a peach reaper right in there. I've got some yellow wax beans right here. Now these are just bush beans. That is my yellow patio tomato, yellow cherry tomato. First time I've grown that. Hopefully, I think it's gonna stay a little small. We'll see. And then we've got our Taiwan yard long beans, which I kind of accidentally planted. I put those seeds there, and then I put these tomatoes in. And what I didn't intend to. I thought I would give them their own space, but I actually kind of crowded the tomatoes. So I put these 3 Sweet Million hybrid tomatoes in, and one of them is right in with those Taiwan yard long beans. But we've got our 3 Sweet Million tomatoes right there, then 2 Abe Lincoln tomatoes, and then right on the end, we've got 1 chocolate pear. Now in here, we've got some mystery peppers that we planted together. My baby, oh. Cora's over there calling me. I haven't fed him yet this morning, so she wants to remind me of that. That's my baby right there. She's the sweetest. All right, let's get back to the garden. Okay, so we've got some mystery peppers. If you guys planted peppers with me, I think I mentioned that I was looking for Anaheim peppers. I know I would have started them. I didn't label anything, which is pretty typical if you guys have hung out with me for very long at all. So these are some mystery peppers. Huh, puppy? Some mystery peppers that hopefully turn out to be Anaheim peppers. And if not, then we'll just get some extra peppers. Now, I tried to interplant some things out here. Let me show you. So we've got our kale plant right there. What I hope is Anaheim peppers. I interplanted some things. Off the top of my head, I actually don't remember what those are, but I did film it, so I'll come back and check. And then on this end here, let me bring you in a little closer. We've got just a volunteer squash plant. Not sure what that is. Maybe delicata. It might end up being spaghetti squash, so we'll see what that produces. I've got some eggplant, little eggplants there. Let me take you around. I'll show you the other side. All right, so we'll start on this side. We've got these Blod Hill beans. So if you remember when I planted them, I planted some along the trellis and some along the front here. I think next time I'll stick to just along the trellis because I have a big clump of beans that should climb up. They're not climbing quite as fast as the others. Next to that, I planted some snake beans, which I'm hoping that they germinated. I actually can't really tell if any did or if it's just the others that are filling in. I think I might have gotten at least one of those, maybe 1 or 2 to germinate. So hopefully we'll definitely be able to tell what they are when they grow because they're very distinctive. And then right next to those snake beans, I planted 1,500-year-old cave beans. So those are definitely germinated and doing real well. Those are growing. I planted some Kajari melon next to that. Everything's super crowded here. Can't really tell the difference until you get to the sugar pie pumpkins. And you can definitely see those sugar pie pumpkins are just growing like crazy. So I want to try to get those trellised up there. That's my job for today. Okay, puppy, can you please get out of my garden? Thank you. Okay, so we've got some herbs. We've got some sage right there. So we've got some herbs right there. Some peppers. We got bell peppers, banana peppers. Both are producing. So we'll come out. I need to get these harvested. I need to get my sugar pie pumpkins kind of strung up here on that trellis. And then back here, I've got some zucchini and yellow squash planted just to utilize some space in this bed. And then I've got some more eggplants right over there. And then as you can see, we've got some space right there to plant. I did plant some okra, but it was super tiny seedlings. The weeds took over. So I think we're gonna put some weed fabric there, see if we can get something else started. Okay, you guys, here's a quick peek at our tomatoes. Now we do have a fair amount of work to do out here today. I wanna trim these tomatoes up. We haven't tied them up or anything, but they pretty naturally will just kind of stick into the cattle panels. And I just weave them in and out, and that works pretty well. You can order some clips if you want. I might do that. We'll see how it goes. But so far, so good on the weeds. There definitely are some weeds coming up through the fabric. Like if you can see that there, it's not perfect. So this is not working perfect for us. But if you've seen any of our previous garden updates, so far, this is working incredibly well. So here's another weed coming up there. It's possible that maybe we poked a couple holes in this. We were being very careful. It's possible, but I think mainly what we're seeing is just some weeds coming up through the seams. So you can definitely see that here. And we overlapped it. Let me zoom you in. So we overlapped it a good foot, and we're still seeing weeds come up through those seams.
All right, so as you know, last week we de-weeded all this, got all the weeds out. So I finished doing the watering system here. I went back to the soaker hoses because the bubblers weren't actually giving it an even water across the bed. So I went back to the soaker hoses and I put the weed fabric down. So we're getting ready to plant some. We're going to plant some watermelons and cantaloupes and honeydew melons in these beds. So hopefully we get lots of fruit.
So if you guys are enjoying this video, I thought I'd share a little bit more about our channel. So Gary and I share updates about life here on our farm, from the donkeys. We've got a bunch of donkey content. And we also have a bunch of feral cats that we're feeding, we're trapping, trying to get these guys fixed so that they don't continue to breed. But on our farm, we just have a big rescue farm. So a bunch of ducks, geese, chickens. The neighbors have little baby cows that are super cute. Sometimes we talk about products we use on our farm, mostly a lot of donkeys and gardening. So if you're not already subscribed, please be sure you do, and you can check out more of our content. So one of the first things we're getting to harvest this season are peppers. So we're getting a bunch of bell peppers. So I'm able to come out, harvest these each weekend, and we're getting quite a few of them. Generally, I'll just chop them up early in the season. I'll just kind of chop them up with some eggs and try to make use of them. But we get so many, I can definitely preserve all of our bell peppers and banana peppers so we can use those throughout the year.
I'll take a little break.
So this is one of our bush beans. It just volunteered. We did have bush beans here last year, so I left it. Let's check in here and see if there's anything to harvest. And it looks like, if you guys can see, there's a few beans on it. So they're little, but we're gonna grab what we can because last year I made the mistake of not picking them early enough and they just get too big and then they're no good. All right, we've got one of these chocolate cherry tomatoes ready to pick. So this is the chocolate cherry tomato we just picked. There's only one, so I'm gonna give it a taste. Haven't grown this before. We'll see if we like it. Oh, it's really good. Well, we should get a bunch of those. We got a couple others planted, so let's keep harvesting. We'll see how much I eat out here and how much makes it in the house. So I just cut off all the lower leaves. This one's just a regular leaf. I cut off all the suckers, like this little baby. I'll take them out. And you can buy clips if you want for your plants. I might do that, but really what I'm gonna just do is gently kind of gather these guys together, shove them through, and then bring them back through the next one. Actually, I'll try it one lower, so you see how it's just not quite tall enough. There's plenty of flexibility still in the stem. I'm not worried about breaking it. And then I'm gently just gonna bring them right back through the next one and give them somewhere to stand. Okay, so I didn't space these out, I just kind of poured the seeds in. So some of them are smaller than others. So like this one, they were super close together. So that one's good size, this one's super tiny. There's a little one. So some of them are quite a bit smaller than that other one we got. I'll let some of them grow. I think I'll just pull the ones that look like they're pretty good size. Like here's a couple more. We'll harvest a few and they'll go good with our salad.
Okay, we're gonna taste this radish. Look at this big radish. Like eating an apple. It's like a regular radish. It's not
Is it
too
good?
strong. It's good.
Not too spicy or peppery?
No, it tastes really good.
All right, we'll get these harvested.
What was left of it? Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little spicy after you take quite a few bites. It's good though. Yeah.
It's a funny shaped guy. I think because I planted them so close together. They're supposed to be big, like Easter egg looking things. If I just spaced them out, maybe that's what we'd have got. Right, that's a longer one. All right, we'll leave a few in there. We got some for now. We'll see if the others get a little bit bigger. Okay guys, that's our tiny little harvest for the week, but that'll keep us in fresh veggies. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.